Vermeer is also tropical, which is why I like it.
Mm-hmm. So,
Oh god, fuck, I missed it!
bad at the game.
I was paying attention to your stupid story, shut up.
Stupid story. I think you're just bad at the game, Jeremy.
Hello, hello.
Welcome back, everyone.
And we are back with an idiot and me. I'm not
Two
the idiot.
idiots.
Oh, fuck you.
Two idiots. Me and
you're,
Jeremy.
you're not wrong. We are back with another installment of Two Schmucks Save the Galaxy.
Who said anything about saving, Jeremy? Fuck them kids.
You raise a good point. What are we going to do today? Should I go to the galaxy map, or should I look at what we have in my journal?
Open up the galaxy map. Let's just get a nice view of our options for today.
Well, first off, we got nothing on Rannoch, even though we left one mission undone.
Ah, well.
Going right here. What do we have?
Alright. So we got a bunch of systems that we haven't scanned completely yet.
That is true. And even the ones that we did initially 100%, like this one right here, I'm pretty sure that you could probably scan this one at some point. Like this one's at 50. In fact, I think the reason this one's at 50% was because I didn't scan a fuel depot because I wanted to save that.
That's right.
Or maybe it was this one. No, never mind. I don't think it was this one. But this one's got the extra scientist one. Like this one, again, I'm pretty sure that this was at 100% at one point, but you know, the more that you play through this game, you know, stuff opens up and you know everything. That's an N7 mission right there, fuel reactors.
Yep. Let's see, we could go to the Citadel to meet the Asari Counselor. We could go find those...
This is an N7 mission as well. In fact, that's the one on Novaria. I'm pretty sure.
We could go find the ex-Cerberus scientists. Well, let's just start from... Let's start from the system we're in, or rather the cluster we're in, and work our way counterclockwise. Let's cool down for a little bit. I think the last, several excursions have been pretty intense. We've done a lot towards, saving the galaxy, even though I never said anything about saving the galaxy.
And I technically died a couple times in the last video, if you're keeping count as to,
I found something.
That's it.
Oh, yeah. Always keep count of how many times Jeremy dies because, there is a prize to be won at the end of it.
Okay, well, that was crap. Alright, let's see. Oh, that's at 50%. It's gotta be fuel. Yep, there it is.
Yep.
Oh, wow, there's a bunch of stuff here.
Signal confirmed.
I never liked how they dumbed down the scanning in this game to just basically fetch quests.
Okay, well, that one right there is a fetch quest. I remember that. That's a fetch quest. No. Give me the fucking thing. Come on. Oh, fuck, it's right by you.
Faster than light jump successful.
You're doing fine.
Until I'm not.
Which is usually.
Evasion
but
successful.
for now.
I like fucking with Reapers, I'm not gonna lie.
I found found something.
It'd be funnier if they could respond and be like, "Come back here, you stupid little asshole." But no.
The lipstick. Okay, whatever. Alright, that's at 50%. Yeah, fuck you guys. 100 units. That's it. 100. Fuck this game.
Blob.
Reapers eluded.
Reapers eluded.
Oh, it's gotta be over here.
Signal confirmed.
Wow.
Totally sure. That's actually a fetch crest too.
Indeed.
Oh, it's fuck this game for not giving me a thingy. I will say that I am very happy that Edie doesn't say fuel at half capacity like she did in Mass Effect 2. Oh, I didn't even get maxed out for that. Fuck you. I'm gonna make the Reapers show up. Fuck you guys.
Faster than light
Bye.
jump successful.
Alright, so that's that one. This one.
I don't know.
this
It
one.
never bothered me that much that she says she, you know.
I'm pretty sure this
keeps
one never
tabs on
gives
her
you.
fuel.
Well, I'm pretty sure this one never gives you a percentage. I'm not gonna bother with that one. 100% there. Okay.
I found something.
Oh, that's something.
Evasion successful. Signal confirmed.
Paz.
Lop.
Isn't Garbug the home of the Yogg?
I don't remember. That is a fetch quest too. That's
Well,
the fetch quest.
let's read the blurb on Garvug. Such a Krogan adapted. Oh. I guess not.
Lop. Yeah.
Fact.
$160 credits, or I mean units.
Get fucked.
Reapers eluded.
Micah.
It'd probably be Micah.
I found something.
Of course you did. Elohi. We are scanning planets. This is kind of a pretty planet, actually. Emergency fuel pods. Well, now. Oh god, there's two things over here. Fuck. I'm gonna. Yep, I know it. Oh, there's one. Gonna get that thing out of the way quickly. Ooh, that's a decent haul.
340. That's pretty good. Got you almost all the way up to full.
Ah!
Faster than light jump successful.
Oh, fuck this game.
Evasion
Lop.
successful.
Get fucked.
Fall ass. I like how the Reapers are just kind of like, you know, kind enough to let me scan the planet while they're after me.
Like, oh yeah, just do your thing. Take your time. We'll
Reapers
continue the
eluded.
chase when you're done.
Okay, give me a decent amount. Fuck this game.
95.
Faster
Get
than light
fucked.
jump successful.
Alright, this was
Get
50%.
fucked.
You know, if this one is the one that I have to... Okay, which one is it? Okay, it's gotta be this one right here. Kaizel? See, 100%, 100%. Nope, there's two of them. Let's see what we got here. There's a bunch of planets here.
Signal confirmed.
The fact that I'm not getting... Ooh, that's a nice haul. The fact that I'm not getting Reapers after me, that's a good thing for this section. I'm happy that I'm not having to deal with them bitches for once.
Yeah, some systems... I know there are some systems from the beginning that don't have Reapers in them. But I'm pretty sure by the end of the game, most, if not all, systems will have Reapers in them that chase you if you try to scan.
The one thing that has always kind of like baffled my mind is even if
I found something.
see, this one has already got Reapers in it and stuff like that. If there's certain times when, as you're scanning planets, or rather as you're going to different systems, there might be like the system itself might be red, indicating that Reapers are there, but you scan planets and you're not getting anything from that. Rather, no Reapers are there. And other times, the system might actually be blue, but even though it's blue, all of a sudden you've got Reapers that are chasing you from one of the systems within it, which is kind of like weird. Like I never. If you're in the comments, or if you're watching this and you understand that yourself, feel free to leave a comment and be like, oh, it's this and this and this and this, so you can tell if there's going to be
Evasion
Reapers, blah blah blah. Anyways, Striker Bristles 100% now. I'm actually going to 100% that other little system that I know about. Let's see. You know, I'm gonna test Crescent Nebula just to see if this thing's got anything.
Go for it.
Oh, you know what? I think, yep, that's Ilium. I knew it.
Signal confirmed.
Ilium. It's a shame you can't visit Ilium in Mass Effect 3.
Yeah, so in terms of my favorite planets, Ilium was definitely probably, if not my favorite of all time planet. And there's a reason for that, and it's not because of Azure. I'm just going to point that out there right now, even though Ben would be like, it's got to be because of Azure. It's not. Although I do like that.
Liar.
No, the whole reason is that when you actually visit Ilium for the very first time, and this one right here, Tereth, I'm almost positive was a planet that you could visit.
I found something.
I think that this was one of the planets that you could visit in Mass Effect 2, which was the one that had the green mist and the flying bug insect thingies. I'm almost positive that was that planet. Anyways, the reason that I liked Ilium is because when you first visit it, there's two sides to the hub that you actually visit on. One side is sunny, and the other side is shaded. And I always thought that was a really unique, like, design that they ended up doing. And so you basically, like the sunny side is the side that you start on. And as you progress through it, there's like this like tunnel-esque hub, middle section. And you go through that, and you come out the other side, and it's like now shady. It almost looks like nighttime. Like one side looks like it's maybe dusk, and the other side looks like it's actually nighttime. And I really like that aesthetic that they ended up using for that. And then I also like Azure. Lop.
Told you were a fucking liar.
Flop.
Look.
Nice. Now, Ben, in terms of you, like, what would be a planet that you really liked?
Throughout the whole series, or just in this? Well,
throughout the entire series, it doesn't have to be one that is in this game specifically. And okay,
I don't
understand.
remember the name. I don't remember the name, but in Mass Effect 1, there was a red planet with like a blue star.
I know it was almost like a blue moon or a blue sun type thing. I know exactly which one you're talking about too, because I loved that planet too.
It was like a dune kind of planet with a big old mountain kind of towards the center. I think it was one of the Geth outpost planets, now that I think about it.
I think you are right.
And then the Geth main base planet, or the moon, where it's like not a lot of big mountains, just kind of hills and plateaus. And then let's see here. There's a planet in Mass Effect 2 that I really liked. I can't remember which. It's been long enough since I last played Mass Effect 2 that I kind of forgot some of my favorite planets. But one planet I really liked, actually, and this might be, a hot take, but it's one of the Firewalker mission planets. In fact, I think it's one of the first ones. It's that, like, shipyard that with, like, the acid ocean.
Oh yeah, that's...
It's kind of a sickly yellow planet.
Signal confirmed.
I know which one you're talking about too. Whenever and this is the funny thing, whenever I play that mission, I always think of like micro machines or something, like because it feels like you're so small in that scale. So I always think that I'm like a really small like it's almost like you ever see how like kids play in like a sandbox, and like that's almost what I feel like, is that I'm the puppet master playing micro machines or something like that, driving this little spacecraft around, and that's pretty much like because you feel so small when you actually play that specific mission. I know exactly which one you're talking about too, and I'm sure that the audience, whoever has played Mass Effect 2, probably knows that exact same feeling as well.
I found something.
Yeah, it's a fun. The mission itself isn't fun when you're playing on Insanity, because I always have to do like the cover game because the fucking Hammerhead is so.
It's a weak little bitch.
It's made out of wet paper, so I have to like play the bunny hop cover game to kill all the Geth, especially those Colossi and the the Colossi and the armatures.
Geth primes and shit.
Mm-hmm.
Signal confirmed.
So it's a neat planet aesthetically, just not a very fun mission when you're playing on harder difficulties. But yeah, that's all the planets I can think of.
If it wasn't for the shall we say the dire consequences as to what happened, the planet I-8, or it's like spelled AITE, which is the planet that you play in the Overlord DLC from Mass Effect 2. I always really liked that aesthetic because there's part of it that almost feels like it would have been like such a really cool place to have worked when it was not, overrun by a fucking clown.
It is a really cool planet aesthetically. I do really like it.
I found something.
So, counter question, Jeremy. What would
No,
be
go
your
away.
least favorite planet in
Oh,
the
this
entire
this,
series?
Evasion
this is an
successful.
easy one. So in Mass Effect 2, there's there's two of them actually. And we're
Reapers
talking
eluded.
about, so back in the day, for anybody that knows anything about gaming,
Faster
back
than
in the
light
day
jump
when it comes to
successful.
games, there was a thing called draw distance. Now, draw distance, for those who don't know what it is the ability to see in the distance an X amount of,
Evasion successful.
way away. So, for instance, in the Tomb Raider games would be a really, really good example of this. And Tomb Raider 1, which came out in 1996, a lot of people initially always thought that there was like one mission that it was called the Lost Valley. A lot of people always thought that the
Signal
Lost Valley
confirmed.
took place in a cave because the sky was completely black. And that wasn't the case at all. It's just that the draw distance on PS1 back in the day was just complete ass. And so because of that, they always thought that it was, took place in a cave, or they remembered that it
Reapers
took place in a
eluded.
cave. And it wasn't what happened at all. It was just that it was really bad draw distance. And Mass Effect 2 specifically, the draw distance is usually really good, but there's two missions specifically where the developers are like, we're going to add a little bit of uniqueness to these missions, and we're going to decrease the draw distance by adding
Faster
fog.
than light jump successful.
And those two missions that they ended up adding them to, one of them I already mentioned when I just visited Ilium, or rather I just scanned Ilium a second ago, is basically that I'm not even going to bother to get that fuel depot. I'm going to go back to the other one that I just did. This one right here, and get the stuff right there. In Ilium, there was a green planet that I kind of, brushed past. And that one, the idea is that you're supposed to activate these beacons to guide your way. And as you're doing that, there's going to be those flying bug insects. And there's like green fog that decreases your visibility. That is one of my two least favorite missions. I'm not going to actually scan this planet until we actually do the fuel reactor mission later. So that was one of my least favorites. The other one of my least favorites is it's got the exact same concept, but instead now the visibility is actually even less than it was with the green fog. The visibility is now only like a couple feet in front of you, and it's yellow fog. And this mission, the only enemies that you encounter are
found
Geth
something.
enemies, and when and when you actually do this mission, like normally when you scan a planet in Mass Effect 2 that has an anomaly, there's going to be like a little audio recording or something like that that comes up as you're scanning the planet. And what happens is, 33%. Of course, it's going to be that one.
Get fucked.
Fuck you.
Evasion successful.
Bob.
But what ends up happening is, when you actually scan the planet, this yellow planet that has the yellow fog that you can barely see anything, instead of having an audio recording, it just has Geth noises. So it's just like, that clicky Geth, click, click, click Geth sound, that's all you hear in the audio recording. And oh god, help me!
Reapers eluded.
Wow. Almost didn't make it.
I'm aware. There you are. How much? I'm gonna pick that up on the way back.
Faster than light jump successful.
But yeah, those are my two least favorite, just because of the draw distance is so bad, and it's a design, not a design flaw. I'm gonna say that it was actually a really good
Signal confirmed.
design that they ended up doing into it, because like most of the missions that you play, you've got complete draw distance. You can see all the way to the end of to the edge of the map that you're playing in, and they decided to add something unique, and I actually appreciate that. Like, I appreciate it, but I hate it.
So the planet aesthetically is very cool. The mission is not fun.
I wouldn't even say that the planet is aesthetically pleasing per se, just because of the fact that you really can't see shit.
Evasion successful.
Because of the fact that, you know, it's all foggy. There you are.
Fair enough.
The planet where you actually fight the Geth, that one is definitely not aesthetically pleasing. The other one, let me put it to you this way: when you're playing a mission, there's certain missions in games where you look at it and you're like, I'd like to visit that. And then there's other missions in games or other planets in games when you're playing and you're like, there's no way in hell that I want to ever visit that planet whatsoever. And in the case of this game, Mass Effect 2 specifically, I should say, the two missions that have that fog, neither one of those is a planet that I would ever want to visit.
Fair.
Faster than light jump
So
successful.
I left out a planet in my previous answer, but I think I've talked about this in previous videos before, so I won't really go into detail, but Vermeer is one of my all-time favorite planets aesthetically, and honestly the mission is just really fun. But I will say that Vermeer reminds me a lot of the mission in... There's an old Transformers game that's based off of Transformers Armada. Not a great TV series, but that's an aside. There's a mission in that game where you're... I can't remember. I think it's the Atlantic Ocean. You're in the Atlantic Ocean in like this circle of little islands called atolls. And you end up fighting the Decepticon tidal wave, who's like, in the game at least, he's like somewhere around 1,000 feet tall. It's crazy. But Vermeer reminds me a lot of that mission.
Vermeer is also tropical, which is why I like it.
Mm-hmm. So...
Oh, God. Oh, fuck. I missed it!
Bad at the game.
I was paying attention to your stupid story. Shut up.
You're paying attention to your stupid story. I think you're just bad at the game, Jeremy. So... My least favorite planets. It's hard to pick a least favorite planet, because aesthetically, I like most of the planets. I would say...
I always that.
Fuck. This is gonna sound terrible, but I think Earth is one of my least favorite planets in the series.
Fair. I can't fault you on that. So, question: are we talking about mission specific? So mission specific.
Kind of, yeah. I just don't really like the leaving Earth mission itself.
Well, what about Vancouver? Or not? That is leaving. Like what about London? I should say.
London is a fun mission. I will say London's a good mission.
Evasion successful.
Still not sure I like the aesthetic of Earth in that mission, but I wouldn't.
So here's a question for you.
I don't know.
Here's a question for you. You say you don't like the Earth missions per se. What about the multiplayer? And I know that Mass Effect 3 in the Legendary Edition does not have multiplayer, which is unfortunate. Still really salty about that. And I'm sure a lot of veterans are as well. Anybody who's never played Mass Effect in general doesn't know about them. But there is one specific DLC from Mass Effect 3 on PS3, or I should say, last gen, that it basically, it was an Earth DLC, and it consisted of Rio de Janeiro, it consisted of Vancouver, and what was the other one that it consisted of? There was 3 of them. I remember that much.
Reapers eluded.
Vancouver, Rio de Janeiro, and I'm drawing a blank. Because I know we played on that map quite a bit.
Yeah, we played on all of them quite a bit. There you are.
I really liked Rio, but Rio was fun because that was the map that we first started doing like legitimate platinum missions on, where we had the strategy where we just hold up in the back and had like two kind of not like the actual Vanguard class, but two people acting as the Vanguard and two people kind of in the rear guard.
That map specifically was extremely long. It wasn't wide. It was just extremely long, and so we'd camp at the very back of the mission because the way that the multiplayer in Mass Effect 3 worked out was that you did wave. It was basically wave based, and so on waves 3, 6, and 10, there would be an objective that we had to complete, and those had like a bunch of different possible objects that we had to do, and wave 11 was basically an extraction wave, and so if we made it to wave 11, we would camp at the very back of the base and stay there until maybe 30 seconds, and then once 30 seconds hit, we all sprint to the very to the landing zone for extraction, because if you got like full extraction, you'd get additional credits. And so we'd always try and do that, and every once in a while somebody would go down at the very end and we'd be like, oh well, sucks to be you, because you wouldn't get the extra points for being alive at extraction, which is really unfortunate. And it happened to like all of us every once in a while, which is unfortunate. But that map was so long that it was the unfortunate thing about it. And oh, there you are. Oh god, that was so close! Holy shit, that was so close.
Evasion successful.
But that was one of those kind of like unfortunate things. 270. Yeah, that should max it out. Yes, it did. But yeah, that I remember that whoever played as a Geth Prime, and I know that our friend G loved playing as the Geth Prime, and the Geth Prime is the only class in the entire multiplayer that could not be executed by other characters, by other enemy AI characters.
I think it was the only one that also couldn't sprint.
That's exactly what I'm getting at in just a second. So, because the Geth Prime could not sprint, and G liked playing as the Geth Prime, when it came to a map that was long, like Rio de Janeiro, if you were camping at the back, we'd all make it to the extractor, and you see G halfway across the map, trying desperately to get there, but he couldn't, because he you can't sprint as the Geth, or rather the Geth Prime, I should say.
I also really loved the Geth Prime. It was hard to use when you weren't the host, though, because there would be something fucky with the pulse. Whatever the fuck its ability was that fired the like pulses, it made it sound like pew, pew. Anyway, it like sometimes your shots wouldn't register, or they wouldn't do as much damage as they should if you weren't the host. But the Geth Prime was such a fun class because its heavy melee wasn't actually a melee. You'd like lock in a smaller enemy, and you could regenerate your shield by draining their shield barrier or health, which was really fun. And you could do that to the heavy enemies too, but it wouldn't like freeze them in place.
Faster than light jump successful.
But yeah, I really enjoyed, like, once we had a good strategy down, I really enjoyed playing like platinum difficulty matches, especially on Rio, because it was just such a bottleneck. We'd have two people guarding like the right side and two people guarding the middle side, and then
evasion successful.
The people in the back would generally cover like the middle, I guess, lane, for lack of a better term. It was just, the multiplayer was just so much fun, and I really wish that BioWare had included the multiplayer in the Legendary Edition. But it's fine. We were talking about planets that we don't like.
Well, no, it's okay if we go off topic because this is kind of a lighter.
Yeah. Well, at any rate, I can't really name planets that I strongly dislike in the series because I really didn't like hate any planets. Maybe some of the Firewalker missions, like the planets were fun, but the missions, I mean the planets were cool, but the missions weren't very fun, I guess, ultimately. So I would say that. The Firewalker missions were meh at best. But
Signal confirmed.
Pharaohs. Probably remnants from the. Yep, exogeny scientists.
Yep.
Please be a lot. Please be a lot. Of course, it's not a lot. Fuck this game.
Okay.
Evasion successful.
Jeremy, if you could have a full remake of the Mass Effect trilogy, within reason, all of the same voice actors that are still available, including some of the combat mechanics from Andromeda, would you take it?
Faster than light jump successful.
Yeah, I would, and the whole reason for that is, even though these games are incredible the way that they are, they could. Did I already check this one? I'll check it anyways. They could always improve. I mean, the selling point for me is the voice cast. You get the voice cast back, and I'm gonna be satisfied with that. And the whole reason for that is, number one, is that if you were to do a Mass Effect remake, it basically opens up the door to not having. It basically opens up the door to not having some of the limitations that this trilogy had when it was released. And I'll give you an example. Mass Effect 1. Mass Effect 1 has some really cool main story missions, but the side content is very repetitive. And
the gameplay is definitely very dated.
That too. They updated it a little bit for the Legendary Edition, but not quite enough that gives it that makes it feel like it actually was a PS4 release. To give you the example, Mass Effect 2, every single I shit you not, every single side mission in Mass Effect 2 is unique. Now that you don't get to land on a planet, and basically
Reapers eluded.
That was close. You don't get to land on a planet. I think I already checked all that stuff. So, quick, where do you like me to go now? Because I did scanning plan.
Well, let's go land at the Citadel.
So yeah, we we basically, the way that you could do this in Mass Effect 1, or rather if you remake Mass Effect 1, I should say, is the fact that, like I said, all the missions in Mass Effect 2 were unique. Now, you didn't get to land on a planet and drive around and, blah, 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 blah.
Do you need ground transport?
Where should I go? Just start at the top and work my way down or something?
Yeah.
I need a cab to the Presidium.
Navigation is becoming increasingly difficult due to the number of
Shut up,
refugee ships
Edie.
in the docking area.
So yeah, we basically have Mass Effect 2. Every side mission was unique. Now a lot of those side missions.
I think I know which project you mean.
Well,
And I've got a
I'm not
Hesperia
even gonna
period
stick around to
statue
find out
from
what she says.
Commander Shepard, that's excellent news.
Alright, I already talked to him once before. You know what?
Thank you so much for your help.
Balazan isn't here, or Balavan, or whatever the fuck his name is, the little fat bolus.
Barlavon, yeah.
I'm pretty sure that he had one of the missions that I could have turned in, but I guess I can't do that shit now. I'm almost positive that he had one of those side missions. Anyways, getting back to a remake, is that some of the side missions in Mass Effect 2 could be completed in 5 minutes, maybe 10 minutes max. And they were all very short and sweet and stuff like that, whereas...
No, the Krogan are the only race that can fight on the toxic.
Oh, come on, I fucking...
Actually,
Thank
I found
you.
a Cacleosaur skull preserved in amber. Maybe you could clone it.
They have, some of these side missions short and sweet in Mass Effect 2, whereas in Mass Effect 1, you land on a planet, and there's a bunch of different stuff that you could do, and it was all repetitive. And I always tell everybody whenever I talk about Mass Effect 1's side content was that there was 3 different types of enemy bases that you could essentially explore.
I've recovered the obelisk
And
of Garza. It's waiting
of
for you
those
in
3
Bay
bases, once you the only difference between any of them was
Tasha Poray.
Weshra, I have an audio log for you.
For me?
there you go, bitch.
Where did this?
Well,
The once you had been to all 3 of those bases in Mass Effect 1, the only difference between those bases was where I guess you could say cover crates would be located. There would be a cover crate in point A, or rather in base A, but it might not be in the exact same spot in the exact same base at a different planet. And so it got to that point of being once you had been to the 3 different bases that you could explore, you pretty much been to all of them. You understood everything about them. There was no uniqueness to them whatsoever. Now in Mass Effect 2, it's a little bit different. Every single side mission was completely unique. Now again, some of those missions were 5 minutes long. They didn't require a team that you had to take with you because there was no combat involved. But that was pretty much the extent of... Yeah, I assume you want me to just go down to
yeah.
One moment, please.
So yeah, that was pretty much what it is. And if you were to remake Mass Effect 1, you could make all of that unique. Now, I'm not saying that you'd land on every single planet like you could in the original game, but you'd make the side content unique. It wouldn't be like it was in the PS3 version or the Xbox 360 version, whichever you want to say.
Welcome to Serta.
Be safe.
And that's something that I actually really did, that I really did like in Mass Effect 2, is that every to give you an idea, Mass Effect 2 and The Witcher 3 are two games in which when you unlock a side mission, I would immediately know what side mission that was. Because it's unique, and I'd be like, oh yeah, I remember this one, it's stuff like that. And in Mass Effect 1, you don't get that same thing because it's you land on a side mission, it's what am I supposed to do on this one again? Oh yeah, that's right, this, blah, 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 this. You recognize the planet once you land on it, and you realize where the different stuff is that you can actually pick up. But at the end of the day, it's all just cut and pasted for every single side mission, and they had a shit ton of side content in the game. Now, some of that stuff was kind of interesting. There was one character named Helena Blake who wants you to take out a couple other mercenary groups, and when you do that, and you come back to the Citadel and you talk to her and stuff like that, and you tell her to get out of the trade, to stop, being a pirate, blah, blah, blah. You'll encounter her in Mass Effect 2. And in Mass Effect 2, you can actually talk to her about, what she had, done, so that, like, if she actually did get out, which is kind of like a cool little, little tidbit, I guess you could say, stuff like that. And so, I did appreciate that with Mass Effect 2. The fact that, they do all that stuff. Hi, Joker. Bye, Joker. But yeah, overall, Mass Effect 1, the side content was all very repetitive. Nothing wrong with that. Again, the game came out in, 2007. God, how to believe it's been 14 years now. 14, 17? I'm bad at math.
Lop.
Yeah, 17 years. Wait, Ben, help me out. Has it been 17 years? Fuck you.
Well, don't immediately ask me a question and say "fuck you." It's a good way to get me to not answer the question, bitch. Yeah, I don't actually know off the top of my head.
Oh, should I talk to Javik?
Sure. See what he has to say.
Hell of a view, isn't it?
During our war, this place became a myth to my people. A dream glimpsed only in the memory shards. The Citadel was both the heart of our civilization and its demise.
The Reapers hit here first, didn't they?
No one I knew had ever seen the Citadel. To be here now, I don't know what to think.
Bottom.
Unless we win this war, it'll be the last time any of us see the Citadel. Soak this in while you can, Javik.
Do not be so dismissive, Commander. Someday the things you have lost will be the things you would kill to have back.
Such as?
Order, the rule of law. From here, our empire dictated the course of the galaxy.
Nowadays, a lot of races have embassies here.
It's true, then. You share power with the rest?
It's not perfect, but it's kept the peace. Most of the time.
Pardon me. This one has been listening. This one suspects
eavesdropping jelly bitch.
I remember this conversation.
Yeah, I think that there's a Paragon or Renegade interrupt.
I remember your kind when you were still minnows in the ocean.
This one is unworthy.
Yeah, you are.
This one has seen the face of an enkindler.
They consider your kind to be their gods.
A pity we did not teach them to speak better.
Lop.
You're really a Prothean?
No, I'm just the only species of mine left, Lop.
But if you lost the last war, what hope do we have?
For many, there may be no hope. The Reapers killed trillions in my cycle. The odds of being among the living...
Do it!
I don't think that's gonna work.
But you are still alive now. That alone is a miracle. And you still have the power to fight. My people knew your kind when you were young. Turian, Asari, Hana. There was potential in all of you. Now you must seize that potential and become the weapon you are meant to be. The weapon that tells the Reapers we are not machines. We are alive, and we will fight back.
Thank you. That meant a lot. Commander Shepard, it must be an honor to have a Prothean fighting alongside you.
Bottom. Look.
I'm just glad he's on our side. You haven't seen him get angry.
Neither have you, Commander. Thank you, Commander. I've enjoyed my time here, walking among the young. I will see you back on the Normandy.
Yeah, get the fuck out of here.
As the Asari and Alliance militaries face major setbacks,
I really think a Mass Effect series remake with modern gameplay would be super cool.
Holding sorrow, Dakuna.
Hold on.
My home world. The Reapers have come.
Who cares?
Holding sorrow. Our warriors are under siege. but your forces can rescue them. Urgently, please. All the other races have turned us aside.
Bottom.
If the Reapers are already there,
Desperately, you are the only one who might make the attempt. Small hope. Perhaps we can evacuate some of our civilians when your forces arrive. Anxiously, I will remain here for news. Please hurry. Dakuna burns.
You know, it's funny about the fact that he says Dakuna Burns, because that almost sounds like his name. Like, please hurry, Dakuna Burns. Like his name is Dakuna Burns.
Love.
You were saying something
One
that I didn't
reason-
care about. I mean, what?
Fuck. One reason I would actually enjoy a Mass Effect like modern remake, like a full from the ground up remake, is I think there are some voice performances that like the voice actors have only gotten better
Miranda, what's going on?
since these games were released.
Well, experience does,
With Kai
you
Lang's
know,
help, Udina nearly seized control.
give people, you know, make them
He's
better
alive.
at what they do. So
Right in the middle of all this.
Yeah, I think that, you know, giving them a chance to reprise their roles would be really cool.
Where is she?
I don't know that yet.
But
my father was definitely responsible.
I also think that mixing in some of the combat gameplay from Andromeda,
Shepard, listen.
oh, it would be so cool.
I'm being hunted by Cerberus
Which it
assassins.
makes me like really curious for whatever Mass Effect 4 project they've been working on secretly for the last
Maybe
however
that my
long
father is
years.
working on something for the elusive man.
So
I really want more Mass Effect content. Bottom.
I wish I could help.
I would like to point out that I am disappointed that I actually started this conversation specifically. I didn't realize that at the time, and it's supposed to be your choices that you're doing this, so that is on me. But
That's fine.
But this specific conversation could have a dire consequence into either Miranda lives or dies. Lop.
Lop. Well, it looks like she's dying. Lop. Probably.
By activating that conversation, it's more likely that she'll live.
Oh. Well,
by not doing that conversation, it's more likely that she dies.
Yeah, though I think a modern remake of the Mass Effect trilogy would be cool, but I can understand why they wouldn't devote resources to it at this time, and they would rather just devote resources to whatever new Mass Effect project is coming.
I want all remaining files secured and marked for Tentron clearance only. Commander Shepard.
Have you found something?
We're continuing our investigation into Counselor Udina's activities. It's still not clear how he managed the coup attempt. However, I need to speak with you on another matter. Matters have taken a serious turn for the Asari Republics. We understand your crucible is still missing an important component. The catalyst, I believe you call it.
Do you know where it is?
Unfortunately, no. But we do have an artifact on our home world, Thessia, classified at the highest levels.
What is it?
Suffice it to say, it may help you identify the catalyst. The artifact is in a temple located at these coordinates. A scientific team there will provide assistance.
Left.
If this artifact is so important, why keep it hidden?
Even our allies can have their own agenda. A balance of power exists in the galaxy that we don't wish to upset.
The Reapers are doing that right now.
And that's why I'm sharing this with you.
Bottom.
Why the sudden cooperation?
Events have forced our hand. The homeworld has never been threatened before. Thessia has always been an oasis in a galaxy full of turmoil. The Reapers are about to change that.
I'll do what I can.
More lives depend on you than any soul should have to bear. You have my prayers.
Got priority Thessia now.
Alright, let's return to the Normandy.
Aye, aye, El Capitan.
Forces have been sighted in the Parnithus system, within striking distance of Thessia, the Asari homeworld.
Spectre status recognized. Please select a destination. 1 moment, please.
We'll come back to the to the Citadel another time, and if there's anything on that last deck, we'll do that later.
Now arriving at
Love.
docking bay D24.
I'd like to request a transfer to a zone with Reaper, Sergeant.
And may I ask why you think your deployment
Somebody over here, yes.
I recovered Prothean data drives from Garvug. I'll have them brought here.
Commander Shepard, thank you. I'm sure that'll help with any operation we have going.
Yeah, it will. Anyways, Ben, any parting words before we depart this?
Don't do drugs and don't sniff horse butts, kids.
Valid, good points. We'll catch you next time.
Bye.